This game between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Diego Chargers is sponsored by the Gaylord Texan. Gaylord Texan, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Baylor Scott & White Health. We're changing healthcare for life. Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza.
After 2 weeks of training camp in Oxnard, the Cowboys have headed down the California coast to Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the San Diego Chargers preseason game number 1 of the 2015 season. Tony Romo led the Cowboys to the NFC East Division Championship last year. Jason Garrett's team looks to take the first step toward taking it to another level this year. We're exactly 1 month away from the regular season opener against the Giants. The fight to be a part of a Cowboys championship season starts right now. Dallas Cowboys football is back. The kickoff straight ahead. But first, this from your local station. It is time for another season of Dallas Cowboys football, the 56th season of Cowboys football here at a rather warm Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California. We welcome you to the 2015 season. Bill Jones along with Babe Laufenberg. We're going to figure out right off the bat if Babe still remembers how to do this.
Yes, Bill. Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Okay.
And reports about the Cowboys having a great season, are they exaggerated or not? The expectations for this team, I can't remember the last time they've been this great.
Well, I can, and here it is.
It's been 20 years ago.
Well, no, they went 11-5, right?
That's right.
Wade Phillips got a new contract.
Okay.
They won a playoff game against Philadelphia at AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
Then they started the next season 1-7.
Yep.
So
And
be
they had
careful.
coaching change, too.
Be careful of those expectations that there's going to be a natural progression for Jason Garrett to go from 12-4 to 14-2 and a Super Bowl win. All starts tonight.
Yep, it is going to be very interesting as the fight for positions on this roster begins tonight. Let's go down to the sideline to kick things off with Keith Russell. Keith.
Hey, Bill, you know, just minutes ago, I got a chance to talk to Orlando Scandrick. He's not in uniform tonight. I asked him, what do you tell the young guys who will get a chance to play? He says, simply put, take advantage of the opportunity. You know a lot of starters aren't playing. You know this may be your one chance to shine. You know the coaches are watching. You know you're going to get a lot of reps. I said, do you tell them to just settle down? Do you tell them to breathe? You know what he said? I tell them to do whatever they have to do to make a difference and be seen and stand out for the coaches. The words of Orlando Scandrick. Bill, back upstairs to you.
All right, thank you very much. Keith Russell will be roaming these sidelines tonight.
And he tells them, do what you have to do to make a difference. Just don't make such a difference that you take my job.
And Orlando has been hobbled by a knee injury the last few days at camp. You're looking at number 7 there. Now you're looking at Jason Garrett, who was number 17. Number 7, Jamil Showers on special teams. He is the 4th-team quarterback. You'll be seeing him play quarterback in the 4th quarter of this game, but is the up man on the kickoff return team for the Cowboys out of UTEP. Going to be interesting to watch that little aspect of special teams tonight as the Cowboys will receive to kick off the 2015 preseason.
And we all know, Bill, with Dwayne Harris off to the New York Giants, Cowboys are in search of both a punt and kickoff returner because he handled both those chores for the Cowboys for the last 4 or 5 years.
And that's not to say Jamil Showers is a candidate for that, but Lucky Whitehead is, and he is the deep man for the Cowboys. Number 13. And coaches have been raving about him. In fact, he's taken some first-team reps at wide receiver as well. Kickoff from Nick Novak deep in the end zone. And taking a knee is Lucky Whitehead. So the Cowboys will start at their 20. And it is Brandon Whedon getting the start at quarterback. He'll work the first part of this football game as Tony Romo takes the night off there.
And he'll get to work with the Cowboys' first offensive line. That's always nice, at least in the interior anyway. Both tackles will be, no Tyron Smith over there at left tackle, it appears. No Doug Free at right tackle.
That's exactly right. But you do have a couple of Pro Bowlers in the middle. Travis Frederick at center, and the right guard is Zach Martin. And Whedon will roll to the right and find James Hanna and his tight end with Jason Witten not playing. James Hanna takes over that role to start this game. All right, the Miller Lite starting lineups for the Cowboys. Darian Weems starts for Tyron Smith, the Pro Bowler, at left tackle, and he'll get a lot of playing time tonight. John Wetzel is the right tackle for Doug Free, Leary, Frederick, and Martin in the middle. Gus Johnson, number 37, rookie out of Stephen F. Austin, is your starting running back, as all three who are contending to replace DeMarco Murray, Randall McFadden, and Dunbar are hurt right now. There's a first down as Gus Johnson picks up 3.
I just love the opportunity these young guys get. First you come in, you're just happy that the Cowboys signed you. You know, you got into an NFL camp.
And especially as late as he was signed by the Cowboys. It was right before training camp.
There's 90 guys in camp. You may be number 89 or 90, and all of a sudden, first preseason game, you're lining up as a starter for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. 3 weeks ago, he was not on an NFL team, and he's starting in the first preseason game. Terrence Williams on the slant from Brandon Whedon, and that's enough for another first down to the 42-yard line.
Nice little misdirection going left, coming in. Fine. Terrence Williams does a nice job here, creating some separation. Good throw by Whedon. Down and away where Terrence Williams can make the catch and then run with it a little bit. Again, no Des Bryant in this game. So it's Devin Street. It's a guy that kind of interested to see where his progression takes him in his second year.
By the way, a couple of DISD X's matched up at the bottom of your screen there. Williams and Steve Williams out of Dallas Skyline. Terrence Williams from W.T. White. And Gus Johnson, not much running room on the right side of the offensive line that time.
You know, Bill, I always call this the world's longest job interview. And I was talking to Rob Marinelli here during the week and just getting his thoughts on this first game. And he said basically, hey, these guys are all kind of interviewing. And I said, Coach, I always call it the world's longest job interview. And he just perked up and said, I really like that. And I said,
he's going to start using that.
It's not novel. You know, it's just these guys got, how many jobs, Bill, do you know of where you say, well, we'll interview for about, 4 months. That's this one.
Empty backfield now as Brandon Whedon under pressure. Sends it deep down the right sideline, looking for Terrence Williams in double coverage. Whedon took a shot, and he's helped to his feet.
Watch the left guard here, Ron Leary. He just gets shoved back, number 65, right into Whedon's lap, and then the pressure comes from the outside. Ball a little bit underthrown, and understandably so. Terrence Williams has to do a better job also of getting up infield, up the field, and inside. He's running up that sideline. There's nowhere for Whedon to put the ball over his outside shoulder there. Very important for him to leave room for the quarterback to the outside. He didn't do it that time.
That pressure applied by Melvin Ingram, a former first-round draft pick, outside linebacker for the Chargers, who do have most of their starters in there on defense. Empty backfield again, third down play under pressure. Whedon finds his man over the middle, and a nice move to the outside by Terrence Williams. Gets the first down inside the Chargers into the field.
And credit Tyler Klutz, Bill, with that block downfield that sprung him. Tyler Klutz is usually blocking linebackers and defensive linemen from that fullback spot. But watch at the end of this play here. Tyler Klutz, number 44, is going to come from the right side of your screen. He makes a block, and that springs Terrence Williams for the first down.
Boy, Tyler Klutz, sort of a jack of all trades early on in training camp. In fact, he's also played some running back with the youngsters that the Cowboys have. They only have Gus Johnson and Lake Seastrunk, who is a second-year player on their running back depth chart, aside from the 3 that we mentioned that are hurt right now. And Gus Johnson with a nice move to pick up about 4 yards.
Cowboys have a nice little drive going here. Zach Martin got rolled over at the end of this play. Number 70, the Cowboys Pro Bowl right guard, who, wow, what a find he was last year in the draft. And that's the interesting thing too, Bill, with Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick and Zach Martin. Everybody says, well, they've addressed it in the first round, but hey, there's a lot of first rounders that don't make it. So part of it is addressing the need, and part of it is, and the bigger part, that player turning out to be the guy you thought he drafted. All 3 of those offensive linemen have been.
Very solid picks, as evidenced by the fact they've been to Pro Bowls already in their career. Gus Johnson trying to get outside. One thing about Gus Johnson coming out of Stephen F. Austin, probably the reason he wasn't drafted was because his lack of speed. Ran a 4.7 at the combine, and bettered that by a little bit at the pro day, but you can tell he's a big, thick guy, and had over 50 touchdown runs in college at Stephen F.
I often say these guys are not only playing to make the Dallas Cowboys, they're also putting a resume tape together for the other 31 teams in the league.
Cole Beasley in the slot, the right side. What a camp he has had so far. And Whedon looking for Beasley to the 32-yard line. Did I kind of predict that? Kind of.
And Beasley also, it looked like he got held coming off the line there, and he's slow to get up. He's back. He is almost, and this will sound like a crazy statement, but I'm a little crazy, Bill. He's almost uncoverable on those little 3, 4, 5-yard options.
And that's
almost
why,
uncoverable.
And that's why he has been a favorite of Tony Romo's. He's been a favorite of Tony Romo's really ever since he came into the league, I think.
Well, here we go, 4th and 1. We'll see who the favorite is here.
Yeah. Tight formation this time for the Cowboys. Gus Johnson, and timeout called by the Chargers here as the Cowboys face a 4th down, less than a yard, inside the 33-yard line. So what will Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan, and the Cowboys come up with on 4th and 1 with 9:57 to play here in the first? Now is a good time to order a Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And Bill Jones, you know what is a dead giveaway that a player probably won't be playing a bunch? He doesn't wear shoulder pads. That's Tony Romo coming out to the huddle to talk to the team. I'm not sure exactly what he was saying. Maybe
he's saying run this play.
Yeah.
Let's see what play they run. Tight formation. And a give to Gus Johnson, trying to lunge forward.
Well, I think he got it on that second effort, that second or third lunge. Because they definitely stopped him in the middle initially. Yep, he got it.
Take another look at Gus Johnson behind the middle of that offensive line.
Well, that is a pile of humanity. Is it not in there?
Jeremiah Tachu, number 97, applied the hit from the outside, but
he just kept moving the legs.
Yep, and don't even need a measurement. He's got the first down at the 32-yard line. Very nice, Gus Johnson. Lucky Whitehead is in the slot to the right side. Wild scramble. And just like that, the Chargers have the football inside the Cowboys' 40-yard line. Patrick Robinson comes up with it.
He was trying to scoop it and score. Travis Frederick is the Cowboys starting center, of course, and that ball just seemed to surprise Whedon. And Whedon tries to just bat it at that point to no avail. And the Chargers have the football. Cowboys had a nice drive going, no penalties. We're running it, converted to 4th and 1, but
and it goes 35 yards the other way. And at the Dallas 33-yard line, San Diego takes over for the first time. And Phillip Rivers is starting at quarterback for the Chargers. Melvin Gordon, first-round draft pick for the Chargers. Number 28 gets the call, hit in the backfield by Tyrone Crawford. There's nothing there for him as the Dallas defense up to stop the first-rounder out of Wisconsin. Miller Lite defensive lineup for the Cowboys has DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Davin Coleman, and Jeremy Mincy up front. Linebacking crew tonight is Sean Lee is healthy but not playing. Gatch Carr, newcomer from San Diego. Anthony Hitchens, as well as the rookie Damian Wilson. Corey White and Tyler Patman, the corners. And the regular safeties, J.J. Wilcox and Barry Church. Loss of 1 for Melvin Gordon on his first NFL preseason carry. Now empty backfield and over the middle. Rivers is complete to Antonio Gates.
we're not going to see Jason Witten tonight, but two of the best tight ends in the NFL in the last decade, Gates and Witten, both on opposite sidelines, obviously, tonight. Gates is going to play a little. Witten will not.
Gates will not play the first 4 games of the season, though, because he was suspended.
And Witten has not been, by the way.
That's exactly right.
Newsflash.
3rd down, 3. Once again, empty backfield for Rivers. Fires left side, Keenan Allen. Working on Byron Jones, the Cowboys' first-round draft pick out of UConn.
That's a veteran receiver making a play on a rookie cornerback. And Jones got a little lost here. A little back shoulder fade to the left side. Rivers with a perfect ball. Byron Jones is going to see a lot of that, saying, gosh, I thought I had pretty good coverage. And you want to say, well, you did, young man. But these guys can put the ball in about a 6-inch radius, and that's exactly what Rivers did right there.
Keenan Allen in his 3rd year. What a rookie season he had 2 years ago. Has a pickup of 12 and a first down, a 3rd down conversion. Now Melvin Gordon gets down to the 10-yard line.
Well, the Chargers had 2 pressing needs from last season coming into this year. They couldn't stop the run, and they couldn't run the ball. Tried to fulfill one of them with Melvin Gordon here, and the Chargers had the 17th pick in the draft. They traded up with San Francisco just to get to number 15 because the Houston Texans were sitting there at 16, and the Chargers thought was that the Texans were going to take Gordon, so they end up giving up a little bit. They give up a 4th and a 5th round pick to just trade up 2 spots, but they get their man at number 15.
That's because Todd Gurley had already gone in the draft, and it was basically a 2 running back draft if you get one in the 1st round. What a career Gordon had at Wisconsin. Huge numbers.
Held the NCAA rushing record for all of 1 week.
And then Samaje Perine came along.
Where did he go to school?
At Oklahoma.
Okay.
He's a Texan, of course.
Yeah, he ran for 409 yards against Nebraska, did Melvin Gordon. Set a new NCAA record. Had to get done with his game the following week and say, what? It got broken.
All right. 3rd down, and they need 4. On the draw play, Danny Woodhead. He's in the end zone. Touchdown Chargers.
Costly mistake for the Cowboys there on that bobbled snap by Brandon Weeden from Travis Frederick, and Danny Woodhead cashes in. That was a little too easy right there, Bill.
Huge hole for Danny Woodhead.
And what's going on now?
Oh,
what? Where are they? Was there a penalty on the play?
There was not, and
Well, they got the ball at the 15.
They got the ball at the 15 because Babe Loffenberg, there is a new rule. It's the point after touchdown for the first time we see it in the preseason in a Cowboys game. Ball is snapped at the 15, 33 yards for the point after by Nick Novak. If you go for 2, you can do it from the 2-yard line. You line up at the 2. We'll explain further the new rule in the NFL this year when we come back as San Diego leads it 7-0. Where do your donations to the Salvation Army go? Wherever hope is the only thing left. Donate today. The Salvation Army doing the most good. Lucky Whitehead is deep as the Cowboys are set to receive the kickoff from the Chargers after San Diego takes a 7-0 lead, taking advantage of the miscue, the bad snap. Not sure if it was a bad snap or if it was a surprising snap, perhaps, that Brandon Weeden could not field, and it was a 35-yard loss for the Cowboys on the play. The recovery by Patrick Robinson, and the Chargers go in to score, going 33 yards for the score by Danny Woodhead. Josh Lambo, the place kicker for San Diego, sends it out of the end zone. Lucky Whitehead fields, and who plays quarterback for the Cowboys when we come back? Find out in a moment. Cowboys football is back, and you can see it live at AT&T Stadium. Single game tickets are available for most 2015 home games. Go to DallasCowboys.com for tickets. You see number 10 in the game, Dustin Vaughn. Second-year man out of West Texas A&M takes over at quarterback for Brandon Weeden. Weeden was in for 11 plays. Now it's Dustin Vaughn probably for the next couple of quarters, and Jamil Showers will close things out in the 4th quarter. From the 20-yard line. And there's Gus Johnson. Got 4.
Say this about Gus Johnson. He knows the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. He's just taking it and going. And Dustin Vaughn, a big night for him tonight. And he started off camp slowly in Oxnard. I didn't think he
and you've been there
real well
from the get-go.
From day one. And interesting little story behind. I found out why he wasn't throwing it very well, and quite honestly, I couldn't believe what he did. And we'll talk about that.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yes.
2nd down and 6. And there's Lucky Whitehead. Nothing there. Escapes one man. Gets a couple out to the 26. Going to set up a 3rd and 4. Let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell.
Hey, Bill, you know, you saw the Cowboys defense come off deflated. Greg Hardy, the first one off the field. DeMarcus Lawrence, he slammed his helmet. All training camp long, they've had 2 words as a mantra: sacks and hustle. They didn't get any sacks. They certainly were hustling, but they were put in a very bad spot with that turnover. They're talking amongst themselves. They look like they're ready to get back on that field for redemption.
And we'll see how many get back on that field during the first preseason game. 3rd down and 4 for Dustin Vaughn. Under pressure, flushed out, throws downfield, and has his man, Gavin Escobar, for a 1st down at the 47-yard line.
Real nice job by Dustin Vaughn, and again, he's not a 4.5 40 guy, but he does have an ability to move in the pocket. He buys time and does a real nice job here, just kind of buying time. Look at the eyes, stay down the field, gathers himself, makes an accurate throw downfield, and picks up the 1st down. Escobar just keeps working across the field. Okay, so the Dustin Vaughn story.
Yes, I would love to hear it.
He takes a month off, does not throw a football before training camp.
Is that advisable?
No.
It's a rookie mistake, well, even though he's not a rookie? It's a second-year player mistake.
There's a reason why he did it, but I didn't like the reason.
Oh. Could the reason be revealed? Gus Johnson, tough run, got 4 yards to the 49.
It can and will be. So I told him, 3-4 days into it, I walked up to him and I said, Dustin, you don't look like you're throwing the ball the way you were. He actually had a good practice that day. It was about the 4th day in. And he said his arm got so fatigued last year during training camp that he rested it for a month leading into training camp. Well, I don't know who takes a month off before you're about to do something as competitive as an NFL training camp. And balls were kind of going a little bit everywhere. And so I understand taking a day or 2 here or there, but you don't take a month off. He did, and I think he's getting his rhythm back now.
Can't connect that time with Devin Street. By the way, at this point, we should point out that Dustin Vaughn is a very smart individual. In fact, he holds biology and pre-med degree from West Texas A&M.
You don't?
No.
I thought we were all biology and pre-med degree owners. No, as I say, he's got a little something to him. There's something about him that makes you think he's got a chance.
So the last week of camp, he's throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball much better. But again, I don't know why you would take a month off. I'm glad you cleared
that up, because there were reports coming out of camp that he just didn't look right. And there's Devin Street on the sideline, just short of the 1st down marker.
Good ball there, and a good job by Devin Street at dragging his feet to keep both feet in. Get to press coverage. Doesn't get a lot of separation there, but ends up with the ball. And a good spot for Dustin Vaughn, away from the defender there. Street with the catch. Here's the problem with Devin Street, too, as we take a look, number 15 there. He's a big guy. He presents a big target to the defender at 6'3". So if you're 6'3", you better have strength about you, and I think that was lacking last year. Little guys like Cole Beasley, they go around people, they go under them. He has to develop his upper body strength because he presents such a big target to the defender.
And the defender in that case was Craig Mayer, rookie out of Texas State. Jacoby Jones, veteran return man for San Diego, fields the fair catch at the 10-yard line, and that's where the Chargers will take over on offense. They lead it 7-0. This portion of Dallas Cowboys football brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Thank you for supporting Texas education and veterans. Greg Hardy, number 76, is in this football game at right defensive end for the Cowboys as San Diego takes over at its own 10-yard line with Kellen Clemens at quarterback. Phillip Rivers' night is done after leading San Diego on a 33-yard, 6-play touchdown drive. And not much running room. Fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage was Melvin Gordon.
Tyrone Crawford in there on the tackle, and I had said earlier this week, Brad, there's a flashback.
That's a great compliment there.
Well, for 20 years I've been saying, Brad, no, Bill, I'd be surprised if Tyrone Crawford, or let me say this, I won't be surprised if Tyrone Crawford's in the Pro Bowl at the end of the year. He has really looked good. He's developing at that under tackle position. I think he's gaining confidence. Remember, he lost an entire season to that Achilles injury in training camp. But he's really looked good through camp.
And that 3 technique under tackle, if you will, is so important to Rod Marinelli's defense. Couple of yards that time working the right side by Melvin Gordon. DeMarcus Lawrence still in there at left defensive end.
And without getting into the technical aspects of that under tackle or 3 technique that people have probably heard about, really that's the position you want to play in this defense. Usually that marquee position is defensive end, right? I get to rest the passer. I get to these guys all. Jack Crawford, who we'll see later, who's at a great camp, number 58. They love getting into that position because that's the guy that gets quarterback.
That's the Warren Sapp position. In the old Tampa, too, Marinelli was a defensive coordinator. Monty Kiffin was a defensive coordinator. Marinelli, defensive line coach. Kellen Clemens fires to the right side. With coverage over there is Corey White. And
said he was bobbling it.
Dontrell Inman can't hold on.
Caught it eventually, but by the time he got his both hands on it in possession, he was out of bounds.
But number 23, Corey White, picked up from the New Orleans Saints in the offseason.
Good ball. You just got to catch it the first time here. Corey White does a good job of battling him through the catch. You're going to see Lucky Whitehead again. Lucky Whitehead, who, by the way, we're going to get a challenge. Yeah, we're going to get a challenge on that catch. Or non-catch, as the case may be. Lucky Whitehead grew up in Manassas, Virginia. So I spoke to him. That's like 5 minutes from where the Redskins train. I said, have to be a Redskin fan. He said, no.
Cowboy fan? He certainly is now. Check out DallasCowboys.com. Make sure to download the Dallas Cowboys official app for up-to-the-minute news. DallasCowboys.com. All Cowboys all day, every day. All right, Corey White, number 23, was the defender on the play in question that is under review right now. Dontrell Inman, did he hold on to the football? Chargers are challenging the call of incomplete on the field. Here's another look at it.
I think that got a little bobble at the end. Did the left foot stay in? And just a quick reminder for our fans watching, the officials will be looking at the home broadcast, which means they're not getting this look. They're getting whatever the San Diego Chargers have provided to them, which will not be nearly as good as what our fans get.
All right, so if he had the possession, he's still got to get both feet inbounds once it's established that he has possession.
Yeah, first he's got to get.
And so if indeed it's determined upon further review he didn't have possession until that last bit as he's going out of bounds, the play should stay as the call should stand.
The ruling on the field has been reversed. It is a catch. It will be first down and 10, San Diego on the 20-yard line. San Diego will not be charged with a timeout.
They are giving him the catch, and Jason Garrett is giving him the business over on the Cowboy sideline.
So credit a catch for Dontrell Inman, and it was enough.
Yeah, Garrett's saying, hey,
for a first down.
He's getting the ref, Craig Wolstad. He said, Craig, I need to talk to you for a minute. The referee being the gentleman in the white hat.
Well, and what Jason is saying is where was the football? The football was.
I wonder. He could be looking at the spot. Did he get the first down?
Right, exactly. Because
that would be where the ball is.
Where's the ball, and was the ball enough to give him a first down? Where the ball is on the field.
See, I'm not so sure that left foot, as we look, I'm not so sure the left foot got in with possession.
Not either, unless they just decided that he didn't bobble it at all.
The other aspect of the play, okay, he had the catch. Now where are we marking the football? Clearly, they did not see it the way Jason Garrett saw it.
There's David Johnson coming up, making the play is Barry Church. So then they may have decided that it was forward progress. So they gave him.
Well, but it would be where the football was.
Second down and 10. Nice play by Barry Church.
That's what I like about preseason games. If this was a regular season game, the whole staff would be over there chewing people out. Players would be down there.
There's Gordon again. They're going to give Melvin Gordon a pretty good workout, it looks like, this evening, as the rookie out of Wisconsin. Boy, they really need help at the running back position. They feel like he is the dynamic back that they're looking for as time runs out here in the first quarter. Chargers leading the Cowboys 7-0. They'll face a 3rd and 6 when we pick things up to start the second quarter here at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. San Diego leads Dallas 7-0, and Jason Garrett is still talking to the officials about the review.
Jetson said 2 things, okay? I was right on the sideline. I had a better view of it. And secondly, I graduated from Princeton, okay?
3rd and 6 for the Chargers. We begin the second quarter here at Qualcomm Stadium. Kellen Clemens misfires. And it's going to bring up a punt situation for San Diego here. And let's go down to Keith Russell on the sideline. Keith.
Hey, Bill, standing here with Brandon Wheaton. Brandon, you got the start tonight. You guys looked good in that first series. You guys were motoring down the field at one point.
Yeah, we were. You know, we strung together a few first downs and you know, a couple big 3rd down conversions. You know, that's what you want in the first game. You know, the communication level will be at a really good point. Everybody's on the same page. I felt like we were for the most part. You know, it was a good start. I mean, it was one series, you know, small sample size, but overall I thought we handled everything pretty well.
What happened on that snap?
I was going to probably try to throw a slant to the right side, and snap was just, you know, it was right there where I need to handle it. I got to catch it. You know, Travis throws it back there pretty firm, which most quarterbacks like, and I just kind of went through my hands and just didn't make the play.
Just now, before I did this interview, we're saying quarterbacks have the greatest hands on the team, right?
Well, we tell the receivers that all the time, you know, facetiously. We don't mean it, but we have to catch the ball in every snap, every play, you know. So, yeah, we jokingly tell them that, and I've been saying that ever since I was in college. But, you know, it's our job as a quarterback to catch a snap.
I know it's a big but you take away that one miscue. Pleased with everything else?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I think to come out here and face another opponent other than ourselves and you know, the lights are on and means something, you know, you're live, everything. I felt like we handled everything pretty well. You know, overall, I think, you know, how many plays we ran. We had a lot of really good, successful plays, and I thought, like I said at the top, I think our communication level was really good. And I think that's the main thing for me. You know, what I want to take out of this thing is get everybody on the same page and have efficient plays.
Definitely working out the kinks. Brandon, thank you so much. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Keith. And it was 11 plays for Wheaton, who worked with the, we'll call the first team offense tonight. Got Bill Jones, Babe Laufenberg, and we're now joined by Nate Newton here in the booth. Hello, 6-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton.
How you guys doing, man?
Doing very well.
Man, I see Babe is intense. Yes, sir.
I got the forward lean, don't I, Nate?
Yes,
in the
you
booth
do.
there.
Gus Johnson went for a couple of yards, so 2nd down 8 for Dustin Vaughn in the Cowboys offense. As time fires on the slant, 1st down, 49-yard line. And that's Gavin Escobar with his 2nd catch of the night.
Just a double slant to the right side there for Dustin Vaughn. Escobar, that big target. It's one thing quarterbacks like. You get that guy over the middle like that, you get a big body. It's hard for the defender, especially a DB like he had on him right there. Hard for that guy to go through a guy 6'6".
It is.
He just put it up in his chest, and it's an easy pitch and catch.
Got a whole new offensive line in there, man.
Yeah, including number 71 at left guard that I'm going to get you to talk about here, Nate. Lionel Collins. Downfield, there's Devin Street inside the 30-yard line. Street, the 2nd-year man out of Pitt.
A lot of cushion up there for Devin Street to work this in route here. The only thing I'd like to see at the end of this, so he needs to run parallel to the line. Watch at the end of this here, he falls upfield. As he comes out of the break, he needs to come right down the line. It's kind of a cross between a post and an in, and that should be just a straight down the line in route. Once you gain depth down the field, that's where the safeties become involved.
Giving him the cushion there was number 23, Steve Williams, the cornerback out of Dallas Skyline. There's running room for Gus Johnson. Bounces outside, cuts upfield, and close to the first down.
That was a great pull block by Collins there, number 71. He got out and connected his man and kept his feet going there, babe.
Yeah, but he says, well, Collins would have been a first rounder. And he probably would have been. What do you see when you look at him? We got a replay coming for you.
You know, I looked at them first 2 pass plays. He was a little nervous, but sometimes you need to get out there as a lineman and get on some people and make a block. You see, he blocked number 58 there. Gus Johnson bounces outside for a nice run.
Pickup of 10 yards for Gus Johnson. And that was Torek Williams, number 58, that was introduced to Lyle Collins. So now inside the 20-yard line.
Play clock down to 2. There it is, delay game.
Wow.
Dustin Vaughn's got to see that.
Delay game.
Part of the maturation process, though, of course, for a young quarterback. He's trying to get everybody lined up out there.
Yes.
And while he's lining people up, the clock is winding
Timeout
down.
Dallas.
Hey, there's Nate Newton on your
How y'all
television
doing?
screen right there.
Wow,
First charge
babe.
timeout.
Can we lighten that up a little bit?
Look how much bigger Nate is than me.
Got a timeout on the field. More with Nate and Babe. Jason not happy on the sideline. Lyle Collins from LSU. Read more about tonight's game with a 32-issue digital subscription for only $14.99 to the Star magazine. Cowboys got a timeout called, so no penalty for delay of game. At the 19-yard line, it is first down for Dustin Vaughn. Saved by the sideline. Looking downfield, right side, Escobar. Some contact there in the end zone. Can't come up with it.
A little bit of slight leakage there on that right side at the end there.
Escobar had a step on his man here. Good job of threatening the inside. And Dustin Vaughn just needs to give him a chance. And, well, just out of his reach.
Working against the safety, Jimmy Wilson.
It might have been a ball to a fast guy. You want to throw him down the field. To a tall guy, you want to throw it up high. I think if he throws that ball up over the top of the head of the defender, Gavin Escobar has a better chance to make that play.
Second down from the 19. Vaughn under pressure and he's sacked.
Jailhouse break there.
Let's take a look at how it happened. They caved in on Dustin Vaughn. Darian Weems.
Darian Weems right there. Let him beat him inside. That's a direct line to the quarterback. He's got to set down strong. He fell for the outside move, baby, with an arm over. He went underneath, got in there. He got a quick float. He floated there. His steps weren't power steps, and he should have jammed with that inside hand.
Well, as you know, Nate, the quarterback can step up if you're running him around to the outside, but to the inside, he's got no chance.
And that was Kyle Emanuel, rookie from North Dakota State, 4-time national champion. He had a ton of sacks at the Division II level, the FCS level in college. Downfield inside the 10. It's a first down for the Cowboys. So Dustin Vaughn with the answer to Devon Street.
Yeah, boy, real nice throw there by Vaughn, standing tall in the pocket and just ropes this one in there. Same route that we saw Devon Street run earlier, Bill, where I said he's got to come parallel to the line, and on this one he does it. Look at that, much better route.
Great route.
Yeah, nice job. Good job of holding on at the end by Devon Street. That is textbook right there. That'll make Derek Dooley, the wide receivers coach, very happy.
On 3rd and 17, a conversion there, a pickup of 21 yards to the 5-yard line.
That's a big-time conversion right there.
Yes, it is.
They give it to Gus Johnson. Gus, the bus, powering forward into the end zone, taking some passengers along with him. Gus, the bus, has his first touchdown in an NFL preseason game.
You know, that wasn't a bunch of great blocking, but that's what we do here at the Cowboys, man. They stayed on the blocks, and he felt the softness in there, and he just kept pushing.
And watch Mackenzie Bernardo, number 73. Watch him at the end of this. Give him a little push, and the defender in, get him over, coming in on the left side here.
Everybody just stand on their blocks. Look right here. Nothing great. 77 get pushed back, but guys just stay on the block. Weems keep pushing, keep pushing. And is it Gus the Bus? Johnson just found his way into the end zone.
And just got a new nickname.
Gus the Bus. That's his own nickname, too.
Okay.
Because y'all looking to do something new here?
Folks down in Nacogdoches know that is Gus the Bus. He had over 50 touchdowns in his collegiate career. All-time leading rusher for the Lumberjacks. 3 weeks ago, he wasn't on an NFL team.
Well, he keeps running like that. He won't need to worry about a bus.
Cowboys are on the board for the first time this preseason. Gus Johnson, a rookie out of Stephen F. Austin, doing the honors with some help from that offensive line up front.
One thing I liked here, Nate, as he slides up the field, the shoulders stayed up the field. The shoulders stayed parallel,
And he stayed low and he kept his legs driving. That's the key, and he wrapped that ball up, man, and that's what we got to have this year. Ball security.
62 yards, 8 plays, capped by the Gus Johnson 5-yard run, and Dustin Vaughn had a nice drive there, too. Nice Ford scoring drive for the Cowboys. Kickoff is fielded by Chris Davis, the second-year man out of Auburn. And he's past the 40, muscling out to the 43-yard line. There is an infraction of rules on the play. A flag down back at the 18-yard line. If you recognize the name Chris Davis, well, if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, you hate that name. He had the kick return on the missed field goal and what turned out to be the return of the century a couple of years ago.
And I don't want to say I called that before they kicked it, but I said I would not kick this field goal. I did.
A lot of guys bunched up there, babe, not in their lanes. You got to stay in your lanes. I understand that it's early in the season, but you know, when you're trying to make this team, you got to stay in your lane.
Well, the big thing, I always say, the special teams coach, no matter where they are, in all 32 teams, they have the toughest job of anybody. That's Rich Bisaccia here. And that's because so many of these guys, they've never tackled anybody in their life. Dwayne Harris, who was the Cowboys' leading tackler on special teams last year, I said, did you ever tackle anybody before you got to the pros? He said, no, never. Yeah. Because they're too valuable on their college teams. They're playing receiver, running back. But up here, you better be able to play it. But they're just not used to doing it.
San Diego takes over after the penalty back inside their own 10-yard line at the 9. And the pass is complete to the near sideline. It'll set up a second down and 1. And of course the Cowboys with their first point after of this preseason with the new rules where the point after came at the 15-yard line. Ball was set down at the 23 for a 33-yard field goal. You like that rule?
I'm not so sure I do, because I don't know how much it changes. Let me just say this. Last year, from 33 yards, the kickers, the NFL kickers, 39 of 41. So they converted at a rate of 97% anyway. So the idea was we'll try to make the play more exciting. We'll push them back. They hit 97%. Extra points, they were a little above 99.
There's Brandon Oliver. It's not Darren Sproles. It is his number, but it looks a lot like him. Brandon Oliver had a very nice rookie year last year. As you look at Dan Bailey, you got some numbers. There's the numbers on your screen there. The new kicking rules from the 15. 2-point conversion remains at the 2-yard line. I think, unless you're Chip Kelly, you're probably kicking the extra point.
Oh, yeah, it's going to change nothing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Not a thing. The only thing if you go up, Cowboys play at Buffalo December 27th this year. 40-mile-an-hour winds, Bill, snowstorm. Maybe you think twice, because the defense has the ability to score.
Oh, let it come up under there. He ran that for him, babe.
He sure did. But he wanted the football.
That's Corey White.
That's one of the things the Cowboys did better than any team outside of the Houston Texans last year. Take the football away. Corey White just steps underneath the throw here. Oh, the receiver does a very nice job of coming back and breaking it up.
Brian Parker.
Parker got his hand in. I didn't see that the first time around, so my apologies to Corey White. But again, the Cowboys second in the NFL in takeaways last year, second only to Houston.
And that is a staple of a Rod Marinelli defense. Well, there he goes again, Brandon Oliver. He, in the first preseason game last year, ran for 65 yards against the Cowboys. And you could tell he was something special out of Buffalo.
The one thing this defense did, they did two things well last year. They were not a good defensive football team. They really weren't. They took the ball away, though, and they kept the big plays away.
To a minimum.
Let's get into more of that and what improvements you might see in the defense this year when we come back to San Diego. Chargers face a 3rd and 1, all tied up at 7. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium with a VIP, self-guided, or art tour. Stadium tours are available daily. For more info and to purchase tours, visit DallasCowboys.com/tours. Cowboys and Chargers are tied up at 7. A meeting of the minds on the Cowboys sideline. Brandon Whedon worked the first series. Dustin Vaughn looked good on that last series. Now San Diego runs breaking through is the rookie out of Minnesota, Damian Wilson.
Big play.
Huge play by Damian Wilson. On a 3rd and 1, Damian Wilson comes up with the tackle for
Right
loss.
here, he came up on the strong A-gap, punched it through. Good job by your one technique of making sure he occupied that center there, and he slipped right between the center guard for a big play. That's what you call sacrificing for your team right there. Eating up blocks where your linebackers can make plays.
Wow. I'll tell you who sacrificed for his team right there.
Look at Matt Eberflus.
Brandon Oliver, the running back for San Diego, who said, is somebody going to block him? That's sacrificing for the team. Yeah, Matt.
A huge smile from Damian Wilson and Matt Eberflus, the linebackers coach on the sideline. Backed up to the 13-yard line. Here goes Lucky. There goes the football. Chargers say they have it. Official says Chargers have it.
Well, Lucky Whitehead just learned a very valuable lesson. He's going to take a slow walk over to the sideline because he knows what's going to be there to greet him. That's going to be Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach. And he will not be a happy camper, nor should he be.
20-yard return, but there goes the football flying another 10 yards downfield, and the Chargers come up with it.
He's had a great camp so far, but it counts in the games the most.
Yep, looked like Torek Williams came up with the loose football.
It's a fumble recovered by San Diego, 1st and 10. San Diego.
And there's no doubt about that one. That doesn't need to be reviewed.
By the way, it was that rookie Kyle Emanuel who was in there forcing the fumble, number 51, one of those in there.
But it was just careless with the ball. Sometimes it's, I don't want to say unavoidable, but you get a helmet, Nate, as you know, right on that ball, and there's almost, you say, how could you ever held on to that? But that was just careless with football.
Yes, it was.
Got to love the football, Bill Jones. Got to love that football.
The ball. And that's why they're preaching over there to Lucky Whitehead on the sideline right now. Rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
They getting on him, babe, but they're also cheering him on because I think he has a great chance to make this team if he can keep doing good things and not put the ball on the ground.
The previous play is under review.
Oh, boy.
All right. I'll look at it again here. I didn't see any part of it that was in question, but change of possession, they review them.
Unless they didn't have full possession of it or going out of bounds on the sideline, perhaps. We'll review back in a moment. 7-7 Cowboys and Chargers, just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Lucky Whitehead loses the football on the punt return. It's under review right now because it was a turnover. And perhaps they're checking to see if Lucky might have been down before the ball came out. Clearly,
the ruling on the field is confirmed. The ball was fumbled and recovered by San Diego. It'll be 1st and 10, San Diego.
That was kind of an easy one. Again, that's not a coach's challenge. It's automatic on the change of possession that it would go to the officials. Clearly, as he said, the ruling is confirmed, meaning we called it just the way it happened.
And it was Torek Williams coming across, number 54 there, or 58, and got the recovery as well. So San Diego takes over after another costly Cowboys turnover. Blitz is on, and the pass goes incomplete, looking for Oliver. Ryan Russell, number 99, first draft pick out of Carrollton Creekview High School and Purdue, was all over Oliver.
And they really like him. They move him up and down. Rob Marinelli says he's strong enough and big enough to play inside. He's played inside, outside. They like the versatility.
Jack Crawford's in the game, number 58, at that under tackle. 2nd down from the 44. Trying to find some running room is Oliver, and got about 3.
And Nate, Jack Crawford is a guy that I've kind of been following through camp.
Yes, number 58 is playing well.
He just seems, he seems to be poised to have a big year. He started football late, remember? He's from England, right?
Yeah, right.
And so he didn't start playing until he was in high school over here, and but he seems to have really progressed.
Oh, yeah, he played the defensive end last year, a little bit when he did play, but now they moved him inside to that 3 technique.
Yeah, he likes it there, too, he said.
He's fast and quick in there, man. He's playing with great leverage.
3rd down, 7. Kellen Clemens loses the football.
Wow, Jack Crawford forced it.
You called his name, babe.
Looked like Chris Hairston picked it up kind of midair off the bounce there. And
offensive lineman like that, Nate? Nate, would you like it? Pick up football like that and run with it?
I just drop straight to the ground. Right here, he gets great. He gets chipped. He gets good extension. He bats with his hands. Hits the quarterback hands and knocks it in there. He was trying to, the quarterback was trying to get rid of it, and he stuck his hand in there and popped it up.
Yeah, look at that. One bounce up to Hairston.
Yes. I just dropped to the ground.
Playing 500, yeah.
Safety first.
4th down, and Mike McCoy and the Chargers decide to go for it from the 41-yard line. 4th and 7. Clemens to the near side. And some good defense from Corey White once again.
Now, he is a veteran player. He's looked good in camp, as he should, because he has been playing a little bit. But makes a nice play here. Made a nice play earlier in the football game, and right here just breaks on the ball. A little bit late. Kellen Clemens is with that throw. Allows White to come in and make the play.
Corey White, going into his 4th season, he was basically a cap casualty at New Orleans, claimed on waivers by Dallas right after Sterling Moore, who started a lot of games last year for Dallas, signed with Tampa Bay. So you traded out Sterling Moore, who is at the same point in his career as what Corey White is in his 4th year, making the same amount of money basically. So Dustin Vaughn from the Dallas 41-yard line takes over.
Corner blitz.
Gus Johnson getting a lot of time at the running back position. Lake Seastrunk should see him in the second half. Second-year man out of Baylor. 2nd and 8. Cowboys with that offensive line that features 71. Lyle Collins at left guard. Mackenzie Bernardo is playing center right now. And Darian Weems still in there at left tackle. The Cowboys want to really see about Weems, 75, if he could be that swing tackle this season.
He needs to slow his feet down on the pass. So slow his feet down.
Hannah hit immediately as he's brought down at the 45-yard line, and 3rd and long coming up for Dallas.
Yeah, Vaughn got that ball just a little bit behind Hannah. Hannah does a nice job of adjusting, turning around to get it, but it cost him a few yards because he couldn't just catch it, get his left shoulder down and turn upfield.
Got a little pressure there. Quarterback couldn't really follow through and step up into it.
Cowboys got 4 good tight ends. I've been very impressed with Jeff Swain, their 7th rounder out of the University of Texas.
He works hard.
Yeah. Better route runner. Caught only 10 balls at Texas, but I like him as a receiver.
We'll probably see him a lot in the second half of this game. Vaughn at the feet of Gavin Escobar as he's under pressure again on that 3rd and 6 play, and the Cowboys are forced to punt.
Babe, I've been noticing in this game, all through the game, the Chargers are not shy about blitzing and bringing that extra man.
They did. The very first 3rd down of this football game, they come with a 6-man blitz.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's a little early for that, isn't it?
Chris Jones, of course, the veteran punter for the Cowboys, but it's Tom Hornsey, who was in the Cowboys camp last year as well. Got a couple of preseason games doing the punting chores here tonight. Javante Herndon on the run. Now has some running room upfield. And look who made the tackle, the quarterback, Jameel Showers, number 7. On the punt coverage team. Showers makes the play. Says he hasn't played special teams since junior high school, since the 7th grade.
You know,
why would he? He was a quarterback.
That's right. But he's hungry to make the Dallas Cowboy team, and he's doing whatever he can to get on that field and to be a part of this program.
Really nice young man. Started out, of course, at Texas A&M. Got behind Ryan Tannehill there, then got behind Johnny Football, and UTEP started looking pretty good to him.
And he started a couple of years at UTEP, now trying to make this team any way he can. He'll probably play quarterback in the 4th quarter. And
Cowboys only had 10 men on the field there.
Timeout, Dallas.
Byron Jones was
second
jumping up and down over there saying, hey, we only got 10, we only got 10.
And let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell. Keith?
Jeremy Mincy, what do you think about the defense's performance so far?
We've been really solid getting in the gaps, and We just got to do a better job of tackling, which that comes with work throughout camp, but so far so good, pretty solid.
What do you think about the young guys? Guys that have stood out for me and the guys in booth so far, White and Wilson.
Doing a tremendous job. Wilson especially, he did a good job of reading the screen, getting off blocks, and attacking his offender. He's doing a good job.
What do you tell these young guys? You don't have to worry about a spot on this team. A lot of these guys know they're playing for an NFL future.
Just keep your head up. You know, you out here, you gotta leave your resume for the league. Everybody's paying attention. Nothing's going unseen. Just go out there and give it your all. Have fun. You know, let the pressure go. You know, we all got each other back. We're going through the same grind together. And just keep your head, keep your head right, and you can make another ball club if it's not meant to be here.
Especially after a mistake. What's the immediate advice you give people after that mistake?
You have to shake it off. You just got to shake it off and play the next play. That's what this game is about, just playing the next play.
Jeremy Mincy, we hope he's playing a lot of plays. We hope he's on the field the next play and the next play and the next play. Not tonight. We got to save him for when it counts. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Keith. 2nd and 8, incomplete. Corey Parker. Or Austin Pettis, the intended receiver for the Chargers there. Bring up a 3rd down and 8.
You would think the Pettis and Kellen Clemens, both being veteran players, would have worked together a little bit, but they sure seemed on a different page there. Yeah.
And at St. Louis, in fact.
Yeah.
They were both at St. Louis together. Clemens had an opportunity a couple of years ago with the Rams when Bradford got hurt.
Clemens coming into his 10th year in the NFL.
He was a 2nd-round draft pick for the Jets. Goes downfield. Has his target right at the first down stakes. Byron Jones on the tackle as of Dontrell Inman at the 40-yard line.
Nice job of Clemens. He doesn't get what he wants initially and works all the way back to the right side here on the comeback. Little hook comeback there. He's trying to get the football down the field, comes out, reads his progression. No underneath coverage there, so it's a little pitch and catch to the outside.
Short of the first down, so it's 4th down and inches for the Chargers. See if Damian Wilson can shoot through there one more time. Give this to the little man, Oliver, and he has enough for the first down. Jeff Heath came through and hit him in the backfield, but not enough to stop him. He's past the 40 and has the first down. All right, this Dallas defense under Rod Marinelli. Last year you said it really wasn't that good of a defense. But, as we'll get into that as we're at the 2-minute warning here, but takeaways, takeaways, takeaways. That was the story of the Cowboys defense last year. Cowboys and Chargers are tied at 7 at the 2-minute warning of the first half here. Cowboys took the Amtrak Express from Oxnard to San Diego yesterday afternoon. 180-mile trip south along the Pacific coast. Very scenic route where the team stopped at Camp Pendleton to pay a visit to the U.S. Marine Corps as well. A very special visit. And
don't jump, coach!
First down for the Chargers, and on the draw play, there goes Brandon Oliver again, and Damian Wilson runs him down.
They got great movement up front for the Chargers there.
Didn't they?
I mean, he just cleared out everything, got onto the 2nd level. The guards got onto the 2nd level, and Wilson had to come up and make another play.
And no huddle here. There goes Oliver again to the 21-yard line. Hurrying things up here in the 2-minute offense for San Diego.
Right now you just have to go with your base defense. You got a lot of young guys in there. You can't get exotic. Just play your responsibilities here.
2nd and 5 once again. It's Oliver. Eludes one man and gets down to the 17. You see number 94, Randy Gregory, is in the game for the Cowboys. Has been for a while now. Getting his first taste of an NFL preseason game.
A little surprised San Diego speeding it up like this. They've got a minute left. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. Plenty of time.
There's a little change of pace. Guys got to stay in their gaps right here. Let the linebackers come downhill. Throw a pass right here, though.
3rd and 1. That's former Cowboy John Phillips with Jasper Brinkley making the tackle.
Timeout, San Diego. It's a 30-second timeout. The 2nd charge timeout.
49 seconds left here in the half. So it was effective for San Diego.
Cowboys and Chargers both with 1 timeout left. Want to see if Jason Garrett doesn't use one, Bill, down the stretch here if it becomes the third down situation.
Try to keep time on the clock and maybe do something offensively.
There you see Rob Marinelli, Cowboys defensive coordinator in the blue hat. Matt Eberflus to his right, screen left, Cowboys linebacker coach. And getting back to that defense, Bill. Okay, 28th in sacks. We know they couldn't rush the quarterback. Jeremy Mincy led them with 6. 27th on third downs. That's not a good stat. That's an important stat. And they're at the bottom of the barrel. 27th in red zone defense. So they allowed teams to score once they got down there. Again, the two things they did well last year. They took the ball away, and they didn't give up the big play that haunted them the previous year.
And it resulted in a 12-4 season coming. Oliver makes a move, makes a man miss, and finds the end zone. The shifty back out of University of Buffalo.
Two Cowboys had shots at making tackles there. They had to break down and get their feet up under him, but they didn't, and he got into the end zone. Oh, more of a holding on Wilson.
See number 57, Damian Wilson.
He got held right there a little bit, but he got to get away from that. He got to shed that block and make the tackle.
That was John Phillips, 83.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff Heath had the shot. The safety had the shot at him. He's got to make that tackle, plain and simple. He's the man in the hole, and he missed.
And it's a touchdown for the Chargers, and the 33-yard point after is good. And it's a 14-7 lead, San Diego. Brandon Oliver, number 43, scores the touchdown with 43 seconds left in the half.
Right here, Jeff Heath. There you see. He's still in the hole.
Break down, feet up under you. Oh!
Yeah. He needed to attack. He needed to close the cushion, so that he didn't give the running back a two-way break there. If he comes up in there, he's got help to either side. But he sits back on his heels. Now that back can go either way, and Heath whiffed. And again, everything was fine. That's the play. The safety comes up, and that's one thing about Barry Church, Nate, that I've always been impressed with. The job of the safety, you're the last line of defense, as you know. You got to figure out a way to get the guy to the ground. Doesn't have to be a kill shot, but Barry Church rarely misses that open field tackle.
And I agree with you there. And like I said, he had to close down. Everybody did their job, fill their gap, and all he had to do was just keep his head up and run through the middle.
Again, I don't know why Jeff Heath broke down that far away from the running back, but he did, and it ended up costing him. Hey, but it's something you like to see for your quarterback, of course, and the offensive coaches. You've been doing this all through camp, working the 2-minute drill, painting different scenarios. So here it comes, 43 seconds, one timeout, and we got to go down, at least try to get a field goal out of the deal.
And we'll see if Nick Novak booms it out of the end zone. Perhaps an opportunity for Lucky Whitehead, who is the deep man.
How tightly do you think he'll be squeezing this football?
Let's see if he gets an opportunity. Yes, he will. From the 3-yard line, here goes Lucky. To the outside. Nicely done by Lucky Whitehead.
Redemption is only one kickoff return away, huh, Nick?
Yes, sir. He's feeling good now. And I think he still has the ball in his hands.
See, when you fumble, when you fumble, you walk over.
Right.
When you have a nice return, you run over so they can all tell you just how good you were.
Look where his hand's at. He got the point of the ball covered.
I'd like to see that ball in the left hand, though, eventually, you know, keep it away from the defender. So if you put that ball in the left hand, once he makes this cut, now if it gets poked out, it goes into the stands. But he wasn't taking a chance. He just ran out of bounds.
Yes, he did.
Discretion was the better part of valor there when you weigh 167 pounds.
So Whitehead will now go into the slot to the far side of the field. Reggie Dunn is out wide right.
And Dustin Vaughn doesn't need to get greedy on this first one. Just take a dump off if you have to.
And it goes through the hands of Tyler Klutz, a little behind him.
Take the dump off, but make sure you don't throw it to a fullback that's padded up and weighs 255 pounds.
RJ Deal, our right tackle, got a quick release in there and put a little pressure on our quarterback. He's got to protect that inside, make him run the shoehorn.
Second down from the 41. Pick up the left tackle, Darian Williams, working against Kyle Emanuel, who had 35 sacks in college at North Dakota State. He had the pressure earlier, and pressure from the other side this time. And down the middle, it goes incomplete. He's right on Deontay Greenberry, but he can't hold on in double coverage.
R.J. Deal, you got to set stronger, son. Look at your right tackle here. Well, we can't see it from that side, but
let's look at the
quick
drop
release,
here.
man. He just ran around him.
Good throw by Dustin Vaughn. Again, the receiver, Greenberry here, is kind of falling up the field. You know, that's got to be squared off. It's got to, you come out of that route, it's got to be a 90-degree angle. Here's another look at it. Tough to get across his face, but as he falls up the field, that defender is going to run right under that football, and they're lucky he didn't get it picked off.
So third down from the 41. 26 seconds left in the half here. And there's Klutz. He's brought down after a pickup of just 1 yard. Clock running at 16 seconds, 15 seconds.
And see, Babe right now, the quarterback is unsettled because he's thinking about that right side. His guy's collapsed in the pocket on him, so he's not settled. So he's moving around. He's not even reading right now. How does that feel when you just
that was a
can't get your feet set?
Kind of a drop and go there by Vaughn.
Yes.
Charger down on the field here, so we've got a stoppage in play.
It's Chris Davis, cornerback out of Auburn.
Timeout, San Diego. By rule, injured player in the last 2 minutes is the timeout. This is the third and final timeout.
So with the timeout, with 13 seconds left on fourth down, expect the Cowboys to punt the football away here.
Scott Linehan, Cowboys offensive coordinator, they're talking to Dustin Vaughn. Not sure exactly what he's telling him, but I do know this, Bill. Remember how he said they've gone over this every day in practice? They do the 2-minute drill and they different scenarios. They didn't work on that one. 3 plays, 1 yard. Usually went a little better than that.
The previous year's NFL official game balls have had the name of the team they belong to. This year, the new footballs will have each team's logo printed in color under the NFL seal. Did you know that? They are fully inflated footballs as well, we are told.
Yes.
They are to remain fully inflated also.
How about that mess?
Tired of that?
How about that mess?
Yeah. I think it sounds like it's going to get resolved in the next week or so, the next couple of weeks. Let's put it this way. I believe Brady will be playing against the Cowboys first week in October.
Do you?
Yes.
What do you think, Babe?
I don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. I don't even want to think. It now gives me a headache to think about that. I do know this. He deflated the footballs. He had people deflate the footballs. Yes. And after that, it's up to other people to decide the punishment.
Tom Hornsey, the Aussie punter for the Cowboys. They've had success in the past with an Aussie punter, Matt McBriar. Ball goes out of bounds, and 9 seconds ran off the clock, so we got 4 seconds left in the half here.
I think if San Diego's been working on that kneel down, they'll be running it right here.
45 yards on the punt.
Jason Garrett not looking exceptionally pleased.
He has seen some good things, though, from his third-string quarterback, Dustin Vaughn. Very nice scoring drive. And a touchdown from Gus Johnson, the rookie out of Stephen F. Austin. Braden Whedon, if you joined us late, just played the first series of the game. Had a nice drive going in a botched snap. Resulted in a 35-yard loss and a fumble recovery by the Chargers, and Phillip Rivers was able to convert that into a 33-yard touchdown drive, the first score of the day for San Diego. And here at the half now, San Diego leads Dallas 14-7. We'll be seeing Dustin Vaughn probably at quarterback to start the third quarter, and then Jameel Showers in the fourth quarter. And let's go down to the sideline now. Keith Russell with the head coach. Keith.
Coach, obviously there were some good things and some things to take away on the positive end. There were also a few mistakes. What's your overall impression of the first half?
Well, the biggest thing for me was the ball. We turned the ball over twice, had a nice drive going with the first unit, made a big fourth down, and we snapped the ball over the guy's head on the next play, give them a chance to go down and score, and then we fumbled the punt return. So the ball matters. The ball is what makes the difference in this league week in and week out. So we have to take care of the ball, and I think defensively we just have to tackle better. In the running game, particularly down in the red zone, you got to be able to stay in your gaps and make tackles in this league, and at times we did a good job of that. For the most part we didn't. We got to improve upon those things.
Before we let you run, Corey White, Devin Street, and some of your young guys, Damian Wilson, were you impressed by their play?
Well, hard to know because we haven't watched the tape, but they've certainly shown up. Street's made a couple nice plays. Corey's made a couple nice plays. It's good to see those guys play. It's good to see them take advantage of this opportunity.
Best luck second half, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Bill, Babe, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Keith. The Jason Garrett interview brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Make the most of your color with the very best paint. Ask Sherwin-Williams, official paint supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys trail the Chargers at the half 14-7, along with Nate Newton and Babe Loffenberg here in the broadcast booth. I'm Bill Jones, and halftime activities still to come. Now this from your local station. Dallas 14-7 as we get set to kick off the third quarter here at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. The Miller Lite halftime stats brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.
You know what number stands out to me? Right there.
Wow.
No penalties. How about that?
And only one on the other side.
These officials have something to do after tonight's game.
What about the ugly one at the bottom, though, man?
Yeah,
that's the one
at the bottom that bothers the head coach.
Yep. It's the difference in the game, and it's why the Cowboys won 12 games last year.
Yes.
You know, they won the turnover battle in most of them.
Losing the turnover battle tonight. A couple of fumbles, one very costly on the bad snap. Although Brandon Whedon took responsibility for it. Dustin Vaughn, I believe he'll start the third quarter at quarterback. Lucky Whitehead coughed up the football on a punt return, but it did not result in points for San Diego.
And we saw no penalties, which is rare
this has
in
got
any
be,
game.
Especially the first preseason game, no penalties in the first half.
Took the words out of my mouth.
We just jinxed the second half, I bet.
Want to know how important, too, staying away from penalties are?
How?
Well, this important. Seattle has been to the Super Bowl the last 2 years. Each of those years, they've been the most penalized team. Last year, New England was the 6th most penalized team. They're in the Super Bowl. The year before that, Denver, the 4th most. They went to the Super Bowl. So,
Javonte Herndon on the return. Nick Harwell with the tackle on special teams. So it's
clearly, if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you'd be a heavily penalized team.
There you go.
Right?
All right.
So the Cowboys right now are a long way away from the Super Bowl.
There's no way they're going to make it. not with no penalties. No, but Seattle, each of the last 2 years, has led the NFL in penalties. And obviously
they have
two
great
straight
talent.
Super Bowls.
They have great talent to make up.
And they even changed the rules going into last year as far as the defensive backs go.
Yes.
Brad Sorensen in at tackle, or at quarterback. From the 32-yard line. Ryan Russell with the tackle.
It's interesting, the coordinators, this time Frank Reich, the former Buffalo Bills quarterback, and a darn good one at that. They've all called the little bootleg for their quarterback on the first play. Whedon had it, he had it.
Yeah, that's a great job by Russell.
Vaughn had it.
Yeah, that's a great job by Russell getting out there.
Yeah, but you come out, little 10-yard pass, get the guy open in the flat, get your quarterback started.
Get him settled in, and now 2nd and 7. Brad Sorensen out of Southern Utah. And some running room past the 40-yard line. That's Dreamus Smith out of West Virginia.
And in fact, he's Southern Utah's first ever draft pick. How about that, Bill? He started out, Sorensen did, at Brigham Young, transferred to Southern Utah, and again became their first ever draft pick out of that university. So good for him. San Diego took him in the 7th round in 2013.
Yep, and then
got released. Titans picked him up, and now he's back in San Diego.
And the connection there, Ken Wisenhunt, who was at San Diego when he drafted him, and then at Tennessee, and didn't keep him there. He's back at San Diego now.
Another run blitz.
Boom.
A big tackle there. Big man in the middle.
Davon Coleman.
You know, Davon Coleman, man, he needs to get a little more consistent right there. He'll show up with a big flash and a big play. Then all of a sudden he'll just seem to disappear. But right here, he bowls him back, man. Great play.
Well, that hurt at the end of that run, too, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
You get 300 pounds just driving through your chest.
Him and Smith. Well, he's feeling good. Let's just follow him and see what he does, man. I'm keep a personal eye on this guy.
Davon Coleman last year, just free agent, and just jumped up. You saw him in camp, and he was one of those guys. Made a play in this practice and made a play in another one. You say, all of a sudden you start saying, who's that 60?
Yes, and then, you know, but as the season went on, he kind of faded on us.
A couple of tackles, including that one for loss in tonight's game. Sorensen over the middle. And a short pickup for San Diego. Kyle Miller.
Corey White again right on it. Number 23, Kyle Wilber
He's still
joined him there.
Yeah. There's Gregory.
A Randy Gregory sighting.
Yeah.
Number 94. Rod Marinelli's got to love what
He
has
doesn't
been
love
added to the defensive
He doesn't
line.
love anything, okay?
That's true.
They asked Randy Gregory, does Marinelli have a soft side? And he said, if he does, I haven't seen it.
Oh, great pass rush by him. Great pass rush to get inside.
Sorensen is able to elude it and pick up a yard. LeVar Edwards, number 95 in there.
Right here, you see him get off the ball real well. Gets inside. Precious moves his hands. Got a little pressure there. Oh, yeah. That's what you want to see. It ain't always result in a sack, but if you can move the quarterback off the spot, you got a chance to disrupt something.
And at the end, you see number 95, LeVar Edwards, trying to strip that ball from Sorensen's hand.
Gregory working against the third string tackle Tyreek Burwell there. Fair catch called for inside the 10-yard line at the 7 by Dunn, and the Cowboys will take over at that point. La'el Collins, number 71, manning that offensive line as the Cowboys trail by 7 early in the third. 14-7 San Diego over Dallas here in the third. Mike Pope known to put his tight ends through some rather unordinary drills after practice, from rookie Jeff Swaim to Pro Bowler Jason Witten. They've seen about everything after practice, catching tennis balls, footballs with a mask over their heads, jumping up from under pads to catch footballs. All in a day's work for the Cowboys tight ends under legendary tight ends coach Michael Pope. Gus Johnson gets to the 10-yard line. You never know what Mike Pope's going to come up with next.
You know, comedian Gallagher?
Yes.
Oh, he came on stage, brought all that stuff out. That's Mike Pope. Dunking heads into cool ice chests. He had one drill. He would sit a mate in a porta potty.
Wow.
Sit the guy down. They'd fling open the door, and a ball would fly in.
You ever tried the sledgehammer yet, right, Ezra?
No, I haven't seen it.
Don't throw a sledgehammer. But that was a nice run by Gus Johnson. I thought we would see somebody else in the second half.
Run.
Oh, there's a penalty.
Hit on the slide, and there's the flag. Good job by Dustin Vaughn eluding the oncoming rusher.
Really was, and he got into the end zone here, and I said, oh, Dustin, just don't take that safety. He steps back. That's trouble. And then he says, I'm going to have to get out of here. At the end, he gives himself up with the feet first slide. And Craig Wolstad.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, hit to the quarterback's helmet. That 15-yard penalty is an automatic first down.
That was Denzel Perryman, number 52, the rookie out of Miami, second-round draft pick, who was charged with the penalty, with the hit. And it was Torrick Williams who got by Darian Weems to put the pressure on Vaughn. And it looks like a Charger down. So the training staff is on the field for San Diego here. If you look at number 31, Adrian Phillips out of the University of Texas and Garland High School. And we're back to San Diego in just a moment. Don't miss a minute of Dallas Cowboys action. Season tickets are available. Call 817-892-4400 and speak with a sales consultant right now. A lot of Cowboys fans, as usual, here in San Diego watching this one. Cowboys have it at their own 26-yard line. First down for Dustin Vaughn. And Gus Johnson, not much there, pickup of a yard. Let's go down to the sideline, and Keith Russell as a special guest.
I'm here with one of the leaders of this defense, Barry Church. Barry, your thoughts on the first half's performance?
The first half performance, I feel like it was pretty good. I mean, there was some breakdowns in communication out there, and they were able to score a touchdown early on the first team defense, but we were able to respond on the second drive we had. So overall, it felt pretty good, but there's definitely some things we have to clean up.
When guys like you and a lot of the starters don't get much action, if any, what do you do to boost the morale of these guys who know they're fighting for a job?
Well, we make sure we stay into the game. Any tips that we can give them going back into the game, we let them know that, and we let them know that we have their back no matter what, because like you said, they're fighting for their lives out there. I mean, we might already have our spot on the team, but there's guys out there that are fighting for their lives, so we just make sure we pay attention to the game and make sure it's all about them.
Jeremy Mincy joined me in the first half. And after our interview, he said this defense is going to be legit. What gives him that confidence, and do you have that same confidence?
Oh, definitely have that same confidence. I mean, the level of competition we have at each position is outstanding, and that just breeds for better play from everybody. And way out there, we've seen out there how we were flying around, and we were only doing basic vanilla calls, and we were still flying around hitting people. I feel like this defense, sky's the limits for this defense, but we got to take it one game at a time and see what can happen.
Barry Church, you heard it. We're going to watch it. We're going to wait for it. We're going to look for it. This man, he said it. Guys, back up to you.
And a 3rd and 3 pass intended for Deontay Greenberry, and he can't come down with it.
Nah, it's on his back shoulder, but it's a catch he has to make. Dustin Vaughn would have liked to put it out in front of him a little bit, but really that's an easy catch to make for an NFL receiver. So we'll find out if he is indeed an NFL receiver. Had another drop earlier on a tough catch, but hasn't been a great night for Deontay Greenberry.
Bill, you think it's Dustin Vaughn's been in a little too long? You want to see a little bit of showers? What you think, babe?
I think the fourth quarter will be showers tonight. San Diego will take over in its own end of the field at the 35-yard line as they lead at 14-7 with 9:05 to play. 14-7, San Diego leads Dallas still early in the third quarter. Time to recognize tonight's Bank of America Defensive Featured Player of the game. And its second-round draft pick, Randy Gregory out of Nebraska. Football fans, bank with Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Gregory on the sideline right now in this first down play. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes in there. They go to the nickel here on this series as he's been in there starting in the second quarter and here in the third as well. Brad Sorensen fires too high for his intended receiver.
Threw that one on a rope. All he had to do, just loft that ball out to the sideline, let the guy just go make a play on it. But you have no margin for error when you throw that line drive right there, and he was wide by about 3 feet. There it is right here. Just loft it out there. You got all the room in the world. Throw it on a line like that, it's got to be a perfect pass, and clearly it was not.
So 2nd and 10. Running play this time, and met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Ben Gardner and LeVar Edwards coming in from both end positions.
Meeting in the backfield.
Ben Gardner, who was injured in training camp last year, missed the entire season. You see him at the bottom of your screen, number 93.
He just slipped underneath. He read the play, slipped underneath. Tackle overstep, he took advantage of it.
Interestingly enough, Nate, everybody thinks you got to get bigger when you get to pro ball. He went from 280 at Stanford. He said he's dropped weight in this defense. He's down to about 270 because the whole thing is getting up the field.
Getting up the field, being able to run and attack.
That was a 4-yard loss, 3rd and 14. Sorensen, short pass, won't be near enough for a first down. Pickup of 7 yards to the 37. And a nice job by the Dallas defense.
Jason Witten having a nice view of things down there with Cole Beasley. Jason just, no matter where Beasley goes, it's okay because he can look right over the top of Beasley. Beasley can be standing right in front of him, and you don't have to say, hey, move, get out of my way.
Right.
Beasley's a great guy to go with to the concert, right? Witten is not so good.
Reggie Dunn driven back inside the 5. And that's where the Cowboys are going to start, inside their own 5-yard line.
They did the smart thing there by letting it go. It looked like he had a hankering to run it down and then said, you know what, I'll let this one bounce, and the grass field kicked it right back.
Of course, Mike Cypress, veteran punter, doing the job. Cowboys trail the Chargers 14-7 midway of the third quarter. The 10-time Pro Bowler Jason Witten, starting his 13th year in the league, but he knows it's all about racking up W's right now.
Not about catches. Sure, you want to play at a high level. You want to be productive. You want to have a reason why you win. But you want to be a part of a championship team. And I think for Tony and I and some of the other guys that have been here a long time, that's what we feel every day. And that's what kind of motivates us every day.
Jason Witten who has not played in tonight's game, and for the first time playing tonight is Lake Seastrunk, the second-year running back out of Baylor University. First back to carry the football that's not named Gus Johnson, and a nice pickup by Seastrunk out to the 14-yard line.
Excuse me, Nick, go ahead.
Offensive line got some good stretch there, point of attack. Everybody ran off the ball. Backside, Weems got his cut, and he just stayed to the point of attack and got good yardage.
And they've not run the ball particularly well tonight, early. Still have a quarter and a half of football to play.
Gus fumbled snap, and Vaughn sits on it at the 12-yard line. Johnson with 13 carries for 35 yards. So, yeah, that's well below what we've grown accustomed to with a DeMarco Murray-led rushing attack.
Shane McDermott there, the rookie center out of Miami, and Dustin Vaughn have a little misplayed snap there. Take a look at it again here.
Yes.
See if we can.
Who fault is it, babe?
The centers.
Oh. It's always
I mean, I didn't even see the play, but it was the centers.
No. I figured. You got to ride them a little bit.
Yeah, you do. I always say kind of usually you can split those about right down the middle. Quarterback's getting out a little early. Ball doesn't come back as far, maybe.
Rookie center Shane McDermott, and the pass to Escobar right near the 20-yard line.
See, and Dustin Vaughn has this thing figured out, Nate. He's kind of spread the ball around. He hasn't had great success with some of the other guys. Had a couple drops. He said, you know, every time I throw the ball to Escobar, he catches it. So I think I'll get it to him.
Good protection there. They had a pocket for him.
And, of course, Escobar played his college football in this stadium.
Sure did.
San Diego State. 9 catches in each of his first 2 years in the NFL. Second-round draft pick. Seastrunk. He's going to take it outside. Now he's going to go back inside. He's going to get 4 yards. You talk about Escobar with the limited offensive production, but when you got a guy like Jason Witten who's playing every down and as productive as he is, it's tough for a second tight end to get a lot of receptions.
It is. But Jason got to let him get on there and get some experience.
Well, the other thing is James Hanna's done a really good job blocking as well.
Well, Escobar, he is a big red zone target.
Yes.
Well, you got a lot of room to throw the ball.
You do.
It's like a pitcher getting a guy 6'6" up there. You got a big strike zone. He's got a big strike zone for the quarterback.
Well, that is something that in his limited opportunities, he has been effective down in the red zone with some touchdown grabs in the first 2 years in the league. Vaughn out to Tyler Klutz, and Klutz with some running room has a first down.
Tyler Klutz is becoming the focal point of this offense, Nate.
Yes, he is. And that was some good protection. Our tackles are finally realizing that let the guys run around the horn. Right here, the quarterback drops back. Boom. Guys go around the horn. You can see Tyler Klutz wide open, running for daylight, I think.
Well, that drop down too, Nate, is so big. You know, you get in there, especially the young quarterback, and you want to pump the ball down the field, show the coaches your arm strength, and all you have to do is dump it to that little guy.
Dump it to him. That's right.
Off he goes for 8-10 yards.
You see Struck?
He's finding something on the back door. That's the second time he's went to the back door there.
Put flags down.
And it looked like a unanimous decision on this call, Bill.
Ray
3 flags go right into the...
Yeah. It's a rookie safety,
Holding.
Ray Venipole.
Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
See,
that would happen to be the guy we just talked about.
Right after we sang his praises, Nate.
Yes.
Had to be a hold because 3 guys saw it the same way. He's at the bottom of your screen here, Escobar.
Let him go right there. Let him go. Let him go. Nah. You have to let him go.
Tell you what got him too, Nate, was the cutback.
Yes.
As soon as that runner cuts back, 1 minute he's on him, the next the defender's trying to get the other way for the cutback.
Offensive linemen don't like that, do they?
That big cutback like that, no, because we already rolling and grab every bit of cloth we can get.
Let's see if we can pick up 1st and 20 here, Bill Jones. 1st and 10 wasn't easy enough.
Vaughn had time, now flushed out. And there's Escobar, not much there.
Vaughn now 12 out of 18 on the night, and he's had a couple of drops. He's played pretty well.
Not bad blocking.
Yeah, he had time initially. Couldn't find anybody open.
He bought a little time for himself.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 18.
Get half of it here somehow, some way.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to run it with Seastrunk.
I was afraid of that. I hate that.
Running the ball there.
Yeah, I hate that obvious. It feel like I'm giving up. You know what I'm saying? Drop back and throw that ball. You have to sometime. And this offensive line talking.
How about when the play comes in?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when you were sitting there at 2nd and 18, did you ever, Nate, break the huddle and say,
wow,
why are we running this?
A lot of times I say, wow, but it was Troy, so you did it.
Well, you know the difference, too?
Yeah.
Troy was handing it to 22.
Right.
So
you're right.
There's never a bad call when you're handing it to 22, right?
That's right. Deuce.
3rd and 15.
Quick escape.
Under pressure and dropped. R.J. Dill beaten that time.
Once again, should I say it again? Quick move to the inside.
Cordero Law gets to Dustin Vaughn. Got past
Dill. Right here. Tight end pushes him in. Dill wasn't ready for the hard shove. Now, all Dill had to do was kind of set to the inside because he had help from the outside. Wasn't ready for it.
You're exactly right. Escobar shoved him down inside.
Shoved him down.
There's no reason when he's got help to fan outside there by Dill.
From the 35, Javonte Herndon with some running room. And good field position for the Chargers as they start on this possession. 1:41 to play in the 3rd. Chargers lead the Cowboys 14-7. Happy you could stay up late with us tonight on a Thursday night as the Cowboys trail the Chargers 14-7 late in the 3rd. Darren Woodson attended training camp last week, and he's working for ESPN. And during his visit, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys announced that Woody would be inducted into the Ring of Honor at AT&T Stadium on November 1st when the Seattle Seahawks come to AT&T Stadium. What a great honor and well-deserved for the leading tackler in Cowboys history, Darren Woodson. And under pressure, LeVar Edwards gets the quarterback, Brad Sorensen.
Fast, quick.
Sorensen had no chance. LeVar was top of the line.
Oh, he tried to cut, a quick cut. I think, babe, it was going to be a 3-step drop there, babe. He pushed him down.
That wasn't much of a cut. He just
yeah, that was a whiff there all the way. That's the easiest sack he'd get all year.
That was a shoe shine right there. It looked like he had a little buffer on top of the helmet. He was going to shine LeVar's shoes. And LeVar said, "No, just step right over you there." That was terrible.
Very, very bad.
The LSU Tiger, LeVar Edwards. Oh, and there was an opportunity for possibly a pick 6 for Khalil Glad.
Wow.
Who is Khalil Glad? Well, he was just signed last week.
Not going to get much easier than that right there. He just ran right under this. Sorensen throws him a gift. See him at the top of your screen there, breaking on the right side. Ball gets tipped back. Excuse me. Okay. Ball got tipped at the line, so it got misdirected. So it became much more difficult than he was letting on right there. Tell you one thing, though, he's been hitting everybody in camp, much to the chagrin of some of the guys he's hitting.
That's right.
Very athletic guy. 3rd and 15.
Pressure.
Under pressure and dropped. And who got him? It was number 94. That would be your 2nd-round draft pick out of the University of Nebraska. Randy Gregory makes his presence known.
He's been close all night. Right here they run a game. They run a TE game. Tackle goes out. Ian comes inside after the pick, but great pick by Coleman. Right here, number 6 gets a great pick. Number 94 falls back inside for a sack. Boy, that can go a long ways to pumping this kid up.
Yeah, and Gregory just takes the left guard, Kenny Wiggins, and just drives him back into the pocket. Good strength.
And the punt goes into the end zone for a touchback, and the Cowboys will take over on offense with 21 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. There's Randy Gregory thanking his lucky stars that he got an opportunity in his first preseason game to get a sack. What have you noticed from Gregory early on here?
Man, he's good, man. From the first day we saw him, man, from going against Tyron Smith and couldn't get out of his own way to now he's getting the sack, and he's probably throwing his hands up saying, "Thank God it's not Tyron Smith." You know, because I'm telling you, when you work against a guy like that and don't have success, it starts playing on your mind. But everybody else in camp he goes against, that's the results you see right there.
There was a top 10 talent, so the so-called experts leading up to the draft were saying. Of course, he had problem at the combine, failed a test and drug test and fell into the second round. The Cowboys benefit. Jamil Showers is the new quarterback for the Cowboys with 14 seconds left. Yep, there's the standard play for the new quarterback in the game.
Yes.
Bootleg right.
Simple read, you just get outside. That's going to take us into the fourth quarter.
But by him playing special teams and beating up his arm a little bit, you think is he either loose or he's going to be tight? what you thinking here?
Well, he wears special gloves when he's on special teams. He learned early on when he was playing special teams and some of the drills they're doing, he didn't want to cut his hands up, so that's why he wears gloves. More of the Jamil Showers Show coming at you in a moment, but first this from your local station. Cowboys trailing the Chargers 14-7 as we get started here in the fourth quarter. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, returned to Cowboys training camp earlier this week as a reporter for the NFL Network. Talking to the media after practice, Irvin was surprised by former teammate Jay Novacek, who decided to have a little fun with the Hall of Famer. Yes, he took that jersey from a fan who had it to be autographed by Irvin. That was Irvin's old jersey, number 47 from the U, and he got it autographed for him. Nick Seastrunk, nowhere to go. Bill Jones with Babe Laufenberg and Nate Newton here. Nate, let's talk about number 71, La'el Collins, who's playing left guard, supposedly in a battle with Ronald Leary at that position. But we've seen tonight Darian Weems at left tackle have some issues out there. Collins played left tackle at LSU. What do you think they should do with Collins?
I think you should right now, you let him stay at the guard position. But if you happen to move him to the left tackle position, let that be the only position, because he is new into the league and this is a different caliber player. So if you probably put Weems on the right side as a backup and leave him on the left side as a left tackle only. You don't want him swinging in too many positions, because this league is hard to learn. As Ben can tell you that.
Well, I thought Jeremy Purnell, as we see incompletion here, a little mix-up on communication. I thought Jeremy Purnell did an outstanding job last year filling in for Doug Free.
Yes.
Obviously, so did the Jacksonville Jaguars. They gave him a big money contract.
You know, and that's the problem. You know, he's not going to settle for backup money. He's not going to want to be a swing tackle here with the Dallas Cowboys all his career. So, you know, Jacksonville paid him, but a swing tackle is key here for the Dallas Cowboys. And Jeremy Weems have not early in this preseason shown that he can do it at this point.
Punt time for the Cowboys, and some running room here. As a flag is down for Titus Davis. Gets past the 40. Nate, you're doing some work for DallasCowboys.com. You're doing Talking Cowboys.
Yeah, man, I had to go back home, man. We started that, me, you, and Mick, so I had to go back home. I needed a little help. Brothers moved up to bigger and better things. So
on DallasCowboys.com, you can check out a couple of different podcasts each day.
Holding. Return team number 42. 10-yard penalty. San Diego keeps the ball. First down.
During training camp as well as during the regular season. Check out the penalty here. The takedown of Corey White. Chargers lead the Cowboys 14-7. Big Nate, the 6-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton, has joined us here in the booth this evening as the Cowboys kick off this season. Chargers have the ball here early in the fourth quarter. And Nate, you got to feel good about what's going on with this Cowboys team as they're kicking off this season.
Yeah, I do. I like the way they went out and got the free agents and Greg Hardy and the Randy Gregory's and you know, the Jones. I like that. I think this defense is better, and I want, once these guys get all together, I think it'll prove out in the end with the sack totals being a little bit increased, and hope the turnovers keep happening. You know, offensive line, they drafted a guy in La'el Collins, a strength. That's a strength of our team. I think they added the strength. Now we just got to find us a swing tackle, and we'll be okay. Tony Romo stay healthy. We can ride as far as we need to.
And you talk about those takeaways, Nate. Everywhere Rod Marinelli has gone, takeaways have followed.
Yes.
Happened last year for this Cowboys defense. We talked too about you know, getting off the field on third down and all those other things. Well, the Cowboys led the NFL in time of possession last year, so that kept the defense on the field, obviously by running the ball. And hey, DeMarco Murray may be in Philly, but there's still going to be a mindset of running the football.
It is going to be a mindset.
Third down for Sorensen and the Chargers. And completion to the near side to Terrence Allen.
All right, Nate, you're an offensive lineman. I do not like hearing people say, well, you just plug in any running back behind this offensive line and they're going to go. So you tell me your thoughts.
No, you don't. I mean, we were a good offensive line. We were a decent offensive line. Emmett came, we turned into a great offensive line. Now, this offensive line is more athletic than what we were. They can do more things. They can run screens. They can run draws effectively. They can pull and get out and hit people in open space. But you still need a running back to get in and mesh with these guys and make things happen. If Joseph Randle slow down in practice and start seeing the holes like he was during the season, he is that guy. I think he can go 10 to 15 carries, throw him a couple of passes. You know, let McFadden be a change-up. And if Dunbar can stay healthy and be that third down guy, he's special. But you know what, man, fellas, you still need that big banger, man. And I'm hoping that Gus Johnson can find a way onto that developmental team, you know. Because I think as he grows, he'll be a big banger.
You know, as you see Joseph Randle, he has a strained oblique muscle. He was running with the other players who were held out of tonight's game.
Yes.
Before the game, I could see him sort of grimace a little bit as he's running down the field. It's not a major injury by any stretch of the imagination. He should be working out on Saturday, as should Darren McFadden, and Lance Dunbar might be. The real competition at the running back position, I think, is going to happen over the next couple of weeks.
And you know what? You won't see as many guys missing practice once the real competition starts. Because I wasn't quite sure McFadden wants to start as well as Joseph Randle. So the competition starts, man, and I'm glad. I mean, guys will get back and do what they have to do. It's just the first preseason game of this new NFL.
Juwan Edwards in there at running back for the Chargers. Stephen Jones is very interesting on the pregame show. In case you missed it on Countdown to Kickoff, he was talking about the running back situation. And with all that the Cowboys have, with this terrific offensive line, with the weapons they have on offense, he feels if the Cowboys feel like they need to go get a running back from another team or a free agent, whatever, in a couple of weeks at the end of camp, if they don't have what they feel like they have here in camp, then he thinks that a free agent back would be interested in the Cowboys over other teams. He feels like they're in good position to go get somebody.
They're okay, and you know, babe, ain't no sense in panicking. Not today. In 2 weeks, maybe you would say, okay, wow, we need to hurry up and do something, but I just feel if we can get a running back that's a little bit better than average, that's going to hold on to the ball, that understand third down football, this team will be all right.
Well, here's my thought. Is there any running back on the street that's better than the guys you have?
Right.
They're out on the street.
I mean, there's so much
talk. They're out there for a reason.
Yeah, there's talk about Chris Johnson. There's talk about Ray Rice or Steven Jackson. Well, they weren't doing a whole lot in their careers even when they were playing for another team here recently. Robert Steeples, the defender.
Holding defense, number 26.
Got his money's worth.
5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
A lot of times some guys know a little tug is all you need. He could have let him go because he was covered after they turned. After they opened the hips and was running upfield, he could have let him go and they wouldn't have called that.
He grabbed him at the start, though, grabbed him 5 yards into it, grabbed him 10 yards into it. Only the second penalty, though, for the Cowboys tonight. Just 2 penalties.
Long ways from the Super Bowl.
Trying to find something positive. Not a whole lot of offense generated by the Cowboys.
No, but that same thing happened last year when we were here for this first preseason game.
Oh, yeah, don't get too concerned.
Juwan Edwards, 34-yard line.
Look at San Diego, what they've done under Mike McCoy. This will be his 3rd year, 9-7 both years for the Chargers. Ironically, both years too, 5-3 at home, 4-4 on the road. The big difference is the way they finished. In 2013, they won 4 straight to go 9-7. Finished with a flourish, got into the playoffs, beat Cincinnati in the playoff game. Then last year, they were 8-4, lost 3 of their last 4, 9-7, but missed the playoffs.
And the biggest difference between the Cowboys and the Chargers offensively last year was the running game. The Chargers were 30th in the league running the football, and the Cowboys were 2nd in the league, and really were 1st if you take away Seattle and their running quarterback.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's why they went out and got Melvin Gordon, traded up again. They had the 17th pick in the draft, traded with San Francisco to get to 15. So they hope he becomes.
But how about the Chargers, comparing the Cowboys offense and the Chargers offense, really over the last nearly a decade now, Romo versus Rivers. two quarterbacks that careers have mirrored each other over the last 9-10 years since they both became starters in 2006. Pass is incomplete to Terrence Allen.
No, they've both been kind of the same guy, put up big numbers. Now Rivers has got his team to the playoffs 5 of those years. It's just a flat-out drop here. looking to see where he's going to run before he catches it.
Both of them have good tight ends. Both of them had, but they've had the better run game over the years. This longer period of time.
Yeah, going back to Tomlinson first.
Yeah, so they should have had more success. Tony didn't have the team around him that he has now.
Nick Novak, this is a 52-yard field goal attempt. Former Cowboy back 9 years ago for a short time. Connects for the Chargers, and they extend the lead. Nate, it's been great having you up here in the booth. Make sure you listen to Nate on Talking Cowboys on DallasCowboys.com.
Thank you.
Chargers now lead the Cowboys 17-7. Cole Beasley, a little man from Little Elm and SMU, talking about his expectations for this season.
Now they just expect a little more from me, but you know, no one expects more from me than I do. So really, it's still the same mentality for me. I'm just approaching it, trying to do the best I can for the team and help them win any way I can.
He's had a terrific start to training camp, and he did play in tonight's game. And by all accounts, when I read the reports, I've been out at Oxnard for the last week, babe. You've been there the entire time. It sounds like if you were going to pick an MVP of the first 2 weeks of camp, Cole Beasley's right at the top of the list.
Did they give one?
I did just now.
He's been really good. I mean, he's just a good football player. And it's a shame because I hate the caveat or the addendum that they throw in. He's a really good football player for his size. Again, he's uncoverable out of that slot. And toward the end of last season, you saw teams going in on 3rd down. They were doubling him. They were playing him inside, outside, trying to take away those inside and outside breaks. He runs that option great. And that freed up Des Bryant on the outside at times.
Jamil Showers running that little rollout. And he's got his man. That's Jeff Swaim, the Texas Longhorns, 7th round draft pick on the receiving end. Right now, let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell. Keith.
Terrence Williams, you had a couple good moments on that first drive. Terrence, for a lot of people who think that last year in the playoffs you came into your own, where do you see yourself right now? Do you see yourself as a number 1? Do you see yourself as a number 2? A lot of people have been asking that question.
I mean, I just try to keep my mind off that type of stuff. I think whenever you have guys like Dez and Witt, a great quarterback like Tony, you just have to just find in where you fit in at. And I think I found my niche in just finding plays, finding ways to make plays for Tony whenever he needed it the most. And I think the more that I keep my mind that way, whatever happens, happens. I mean, I don't want to get into me thinking I'm a 1 or 2, you know. I just try my best to find my role and just try my best way to make plays for Dez and Witt and Tony.
How much did that postseason run where you had those 3 touchdowns in a 2-game span, how much did that help your confidence to know that when you're on the other side of Des Bryant, that teams have to account for you too?
Yeah, that's good because I think whenever you do line up with Dez and Tony in the huddle and guys like that, they hold you to a certain standard. And I think with Dez, whenever you look at him and you see the type of stuff he goes through and how people double team him and that type of stuff, I think the times whenever you have a chance to make defenses pay, I try my best to do that because I'm really a prideful guy and not letting Dez down because, I mean, he does so much for us. And I just think whenever I can try my best to help him out, I'm going to be ready for it.
You talked all training camp about how great a friendship you guys have formed. How do you explain Dez going off on the first preseason game? I mean, he's jumping around like this is like the NFC title game.
I mean, that's just the way that he is. I mean, he's a fun guy to be around. Most people don't get to see what type of guy he is. They just stereotype him because he's jumping around or he might be doing something bad. But in all seriousness, he just loves the game of football and he just wants people to want it the same way as him. Whenever we do make plays, he's excited, but whenever we don't make plays, he'll come over to us and just say some stuff to just get us riled up to keep us going. And I think
whenever you have a great receiver like that to keep your mind always focused for the game, then you can never have times where you can just fade away from the game. And I think the more you be around him and the more you talk to him like I have, I just try my best not to let him down, because I just want him to be happy and that I can be a guy that he can count on no matter what.
And lastly, Terrence, before we let you run, we've seen you doing a lot of chirping with some of the young guys. We know you've taken on more of a leadership role. What have you said to some of these guys who are not locks to make this team and are out there basically stressing because they know this is one of their biggest shots?
I just think I just try my best to give it from my personal experience, and I just try to talk to him and just tell them, just don't think as much, because the more you second guess yourself, the more the game get complicated. And I think if you make mistakes, to clear your mind. I mean, we all make mistakes here, and my very first go, I made a lot of mistakes, and I just try my best just to tell them, just keep playing football. This is just a game of how you finish, and that's what I just try my best to help them out with.
Terrence Williams not making many mistakes anymore. He doesn't care whether he's a one. Look at our boy Showers. Our boy Showers. Yeah. That brings a smile to your face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always great to see guys, finally make a play, because it finally gives them that calmness just to be cool. Because I remember my first time when I made my very first play, it kind of made me think, hey, we're back playing football. This is not the league. We're playing football now. So I get happy whenever I see them. So.
And you hear that. You hear that. Let's go, Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean, we have the greatest fans, and whenever we get them going like that, we have no choice but to keep them riled up. So.
This man is not a one or a two. He's simply a playmaker. Terrence Williams, thanks for stopping by. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Keith. And how about the job Jamil Showers is doing on this drive? Babe, I can't wait to get your assessment of what you're seeing out of Showers. 4 for 4 on this drive, and plus he had the run there of 12 yards.
Holding.
There's a flag down.
Number 75, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Darian Weems has had a tough night over there. Left tackle, clear hold here. Previous play when we saw Showers have to scramble, he had to step up into that pocket because Weems got beat. There you see on the left side of your screen. Weems just with a takedown. That's going to get called about every time you're out there in space. I also like to, we heard Terrence Williams say, I just want to make Dez happy. Yeah. You know who made Dez happy?
Jerry.
Jerry made Dez very, very happy.
July 15th.
Yes, very happy.
Jamil Showers with time and fires incomplete. Intended for George Farmer.
Pretty good throw there by Showers. I actually thought the defender got there. Bumped him a little bit early. There you see Farmer top of the screen. Yeah, I don't know how that didn't get called.
It's Jordan Maben.
Yeah, and he just goes, Maben goes right through George Farmer there. Should have been a penalty, wasn't.
Well, they want to keep this the cleanest preseason game ever played. A number of penalties called on both sides have been few and far between. Showers got it to Seastrunk, but he can't hold on to it.
Wow, that could have gone a long way. The Chargers come with a blitz, so they're in man coverage at the end of this thing, and everybody's backs turned to you, and he's got people in front of him, and just drops it.
All right, who does Showers look like?
In terms of as a quarterback, setting up and
just
throwing?
The way he looks. His stocky build, to me, he looks like Russell Wilson. I asked him that. He said, you know what? I had several teammates they were calling me Russ. They said the same thing, that they thought he looked like Russell Wilson. If he plays like Russell Wilson, then Cowboys got him something here. Tyler Klutz, there's a flag down.
A little taller than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, which should work to his favor, should it?
Of course. Nice young man, though. Smart kid. Again, doing everything he can. He's playing special teams. He's playing quarterback. getting very few reps, so it's very difficult.
Holding. Defense, number 99. There's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So this Jamil Showers drive will continue.
Wow, and it was going to be a 3rd and 20. And as you heard, automatic first down.
Check out on the left side of your screen. There's the hold.
You know what it is? It's basically a little zone blitz over there. So he's got coverage. And so he says, I know I can't run with him. So what if I just hold him right here at the line of scrimmage? I don't want to have to go downfield.
Goes incomplete on the right side. So 2nd and 10 for Showers. The Cowboys down 10 here in the first preseason game of 2015. Big week ahead for Jason Garrett's team as the St. Louis Rams will be coming to Oxnard on Monday and Tuesday, working out with the Cowboys and probably trying to gain some fans in LA for a possible move out here.
That would be the Rams.
The Rams.
Not the Cowboys.
Yes, the Rams.
And undoubtedly some fights.
Yeah. There's Seastrunk coming out of the backfield.
I was like it too. The Rams coming in, and we saw, or if you did not see, Houston and Washington were holding joint practices, and that lasted for all of about, I think, 30 minutes. And they started fighting, so they had to practice on their own fields. And no matter how many times the head coach, and both Jason Garrett and Jeff Fisher, the head coach of the Rams, will address it with their players, and they'll address it again, and they'll say, we don't want fighting, we don't want fighting. 30 minutes into it, guarantee fight breaks out.
Empty backfield. And over the middle to Harwell. But he can't hold on.
Good quick read by Showers and a good ball delivered. One of these young receivers, and I don't put Devin Street in that category even though he's just in his 2nd year. They've had chances to make plays and just haven't done it. That ball was dropped long before he heard the footsteps of the safety running over to take a shot at him.
So now it's 4th down. And it goes incomplete. The ball will go over to the Chargers with just over 4 minutes to play. Looking for George Farmer on the near sideline, but not there for him.
Yeah, just no separation created there by Farmer.
So San Diego takes over when we come back to Qualcomm Stadium. The Chargers 17-7. Sean Lee not playing tonight, but talking about the improvement of this team.
We're starting to trend upwards, but we have to earn it every year. You know, we can't rely on things that we've done in the past. We have to go out and play at that level from the start this year and continue to build.
San Diego taking over, run up the middle for about 4 yards. How about Sean Lee at weak side linebacker in this Rod Marinelli defense?
Yeah, I like him anywhere.
Timeout, Dallas.
Nose tackle?
Nose tackle.
First charge timeout.
Yeah, just let him play. Just let him play.
And hopefully we'll be able to see him play in the next preseason game a week from Sunday in San Francisco. 17-7, Chargers leading. Plus down by 10 with under 4 minutes to play in this one. The Reliant Bring the Energy Defensive Player of the Game. Well, how about number 94?
Brought the energy.
Yes, he did. With the sack. And welcome to Reliant. How can we help you? 94's been
timeout, Dallas.
Another timeout taken by Dallas here. The 32nd timeout. Number 94, Charles Haley, of course, was inducted into the Hall of Fame a week ago, or just past week, last Saturday night.
Congratulations to Charles.
Yes.
And to Tim Brown.
That's right. For the Woodrow Wilson High School in Dallas. Of course, a long-time Oakland Raider. Yes, he was an LA Raider too, wasn't he? Yes, he would have been. That's right.
He would have been, yes.
Yeah. A lot of talk about in San Diego about the possibility the Chargers might be moving to LA, and they need a new stadium, obviously. Qualcomm rated the worst stadium in the NFL. Is that right, Bay?
That's what I saw. It's 31st.
31st. And there's only 31 stadiums because the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah.
Past the 50 into Dallas, into the field.
But here's my point. You finish behind a stadium in Oakland that has plumbing issues, where the raw sewage backs out into the dugouts, into the tunnels, and you're still behind that one? Yeah. Wow.
Well, the amazing thing about it with Qualcomm Stadium is the fact that this is a stadium that has hosted 3 Super Bowls. And it shows you where the Super Bowls are now,
well,
Super Bowl venues are now. And when you think about it, when was it? It was 2003 was the last time that Qualcomm Stadium hosted the Super Bowl, 12 years ago.
People like to come to San Diego.
Yeah, right. Bouncing outside, inside the 35-yard line. Jawan Edwards.
Cowboys are taking another timeout. Their last timeout of the game.
Third and final timeout.
Just bounces it outside.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Once he bounced it outside, nothing there, but a lot of green grass. Of course, Super Bowl 50 this year, Bill, played in San Francisco, right up the coast, about 300 miles. If they can get a grass field down in time. They just had San Francisco 49ers had a public practice. They had 20,000 people. It was, I won't say invitation only, but you had to kind of come through the thing. And they had to cancel the practice because the field was unplayable.
Oh, the Cowboys,
in San Francisco.
We're going to be there a week
next
from Sunday.
Yeah.
Are they going to have a field ready for us?
Well, they'll have a new field down. They've re-sodded that field like 4 or 5 times. Wow. And as I said, if you can't grow grass in Northern California, he's got issues.
Well, what about Candlestick? What was that field like?
Well, Candlestick, it was always soggy because the field was actually under sea level.
Right.
About 5 feet under sea level, so it was always wet and damp. But apparently it's better than what they have in Levi Stadium. The new one is in Santa Clara. It's a totally different climate down there. You get a lot of warm weather. You don't have all the cold dampness that you had of Candlestick coming in off the bay with the weather, but they can't seem to get a field that works there. Maybe they'll just go to turf.
Second and 5 for the Chargers here. Not much running room. Brad Sorensen still in there at quarterback for San Diego. Cowboys got their lone touchdown on a 5-yard run by Gus Johnson. A nice drive engineered by Dustin Vaughn. As we are now down to the 2-minute warning in the first preseason game of 2015. We're back to San Diego in just a moment. 17-7, San Diego leads Dallas. 2 minutes to go in preseason game number 1. Cowboys play at San Francisco a week from Sunday. Sunday night football on the Cowboys network. And then home to play the Minnesota Vikings, close out the preseason against the Houston Texans. Randy Gregory had the sack tonight for Dallas. Now it's 3rd and 3 for San Diego as they try to get the first down and run out the clock. And they look like they've got that first down on the run to near the 20-yard line. The UPS play of the game. How about this one? How about the lone touchdown scored by the Cowboys tonight? The rookie out of Stephen F. Austin, Gus the Bus Johnson.
And when your 5-yard run is the play of the game, you know you haven't generated a whole lot of offense. And Jason Garrett knows that his team has not just 7 points in this football game that scored on that run, and that was it.
But hey, they're ahead of where they were last year at this time. They lost to San Diego 27-7 to start off last season.
Well, and it doesn't matter whether you're playing Pee-wee or high school or college. You lose the turnover battle. Most of the time you lose the game. Cowboys last year, when they were even or plus in the turnover ratio, they were 10-0, undefeated. When they lost the turnover ratio, they were 2-4. So they had 2 turnovers today. They had 0 takeaways, so San Diego did not turn the ball over. And they end up on the losing end of this one. Looks like we're going to have a 17-7 final if San Diego can effectively and efficiently take the kneel down formation.
It appears that
they can do it.
It appears they will.
They have practiced it.
Yes. Did not see Tony Romo except in pregame warm-ups. Next week in Santa Clara against the 49ers, we will see Tony Romo. But before then, the Cowboys will practice against the St. Louis Rams this coming week as they make the trip back up to their training camp headquarters in Oxnard, California. Dustin Vaughn showed some flashes tonight, as did Randy Gregory. And we'll be back to wrap this one up as the clock ticks down the zeros across the board here at Qualcomm Stadium. Now this from your local station.